They're arguing about whether he had MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles.
Right.
And they kept going back and forth. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. No, he didn't. Actually, he did not have MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles.
But it's in code. It's in code.
The next day, the White House came out with pictures of his...
You think it was Photoshopped?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Let's see his knuckles. See, this is why I brought Jordan on.
We need to look at the Photoshop picture. It was Photoshopped.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Like those pictures were Photoshopped of them having...
Unless you see the man yourself in person, you're never going to know, right?
So here's the image, right, of what that guy had on.
Look at that.
So yes, okay, I see what you're saying.
It's completely Photoshopped.
So yes, they interpreted. So I forget. It's marijuana, smiley face, cross, and then skull. But I don't understand how these two
correlate
to 1-3. I watched a video where a guy explained how it correlates.
But it does mean MS-13.
It does mean MS-13 though. The first letter of every word of all of these things correlates to MS-13. And they've seen tattoos like this before on MS-13 gang members. Okay. So that's where they're getting that from.
All right, well,
so it's not clear.
Hey,
you might not be wrong.
And that's all right.
It's not clearly, it's interpreted is what he said.
It's been interpreted as such.
But he doesn't want to say that's what it means either, right?
Dude, I wonder if we can look this up on YouTube.
I just really like these pictures. That's why I got them on my knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, so here's kind of a video. So this guy apparently was wrongly deported.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying. He was wrongly deported for having MS-13. So that's kind of weird.
So this is about that big fight with the guy they got going on right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I know what's going on.
That's because the previous administration let him in legally.
Right.
And then
Biden's America.
Yeah. Well, he's still let him in illegally.
They did.
A president. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he was here legally.
He was here illegally. 100% he was here illegally.
No. Legally.
You said he was here legally?
Legally. The last administration let him in legally. So you're just going to be like, okay, so just because he was a Democrat president, you're just going to be like, oh, well, he
that's a good question.
I understand that.
Okay, but hold on.
That president wasn't all there. Trust me.
Right.
Biden was not there. During his State of the Union address, they obviously gave him something just so he could talk fucking like
drugs.
A normal person.
Yeah,
however, he was here legally.
Here's the question, though, right?
Yeah.
You're saying he was here legally.
Yeah.
So he did like all his paperwork and all that to get in.
Absolutely.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And they deported him because he had MS-13 tattoos on his knuckles.
Because
which I thought they were photoshopped because that's the story I heard.
Yeah.
And I didn't follow up through it at all. So if I'm wrong about that, then I'm wrong. However, he was here legally. If he didn't commit any crimes in his stay here in America for that time period.
If he actually went through the process.
Had a family. He went through the process. He had a family. He had kids.
See, that I didn't know.
Yeah. And it's
when you're saying he came in legally through the Biden administration.
That's because you just watch Fox News. That's that Fox News right there. I thought you said he's switching to CNN every now and then.
Not on this story.
Well, you got to follow up.
Damn, son.
Or hey, I might be wrong though too. Hey, you got to remember, I don't even have a high school diploma, and I just listen to a lot of news stuff all the time. So I'm not the smartest light bulb out there, but I know a thing or two.
I think this is a longer clip. I want to watch it, but I want to dig into if he was here legally too after we watch this, because that I didn't know. When people were saying he was here legally, I was assuming that they were talking about how he came in because Joe and Kamala left the border.
No, he came in over to
under the asylum laws?
Asylum Act, yeah. Asylum laws, Asylum Act, yeah, same thing.
Okay,
but he was still here legally.
So, do you think he should have been deported or no?
What crime did he commit?
He's a gang member. And now the MS-13 gang member is a registered terrorist organization in the United States of America.
So he was a gang member, and he came to America to better his life. to get away from his previous life.
Are you making
and
that
he dropped everything that he had going on in El Salvador.
You don't get out of those gangs, though, bro. And MS-13 is prevalent in in the States. They're here.
So prison reform. Do you not believe in prison reform?
I don't know.
So if someone
would know more than me.
I went for a little bit of time, not a lot. So prison reform. What you don't think if you serve your time, you serve your crime?
It's possible.
And people can't be like, oh, I don't want to do that shit no more. Yeah, I got all these tattoos, but I don't got the money to cover them all.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's a lot of money to do all that.
And a lot of people.
Tattoos.
I do know this. I'll say this, and I wasn't in prison, but I know people that have been. Mm-hmm. And if you go to like a bigger prison, you gotta go somewhere. Yeah. When you go into prison, like you got to join somebody,
right?
Like the prison here, like literally my lunch table, breakfast table, dinner table. I'm part Mexican. Dude sitting in front of me was a white guy. Dude sitting across from me was a black guy. Dude sitting next to me was a native dude. This is not like any other prisons out there.
Like the guy I knew was white, and he had big old swastika on the back of his neck. He's like, man, I wish I could get rid. He's like. He when he was out, he's like he was embarrassed. It was back there.
So should he go back to prison because he has a gang tattoo?
If they designate the KKK as a terrorist organization in the United States, which they should be, then maybe.
But he didn't want it. He just never got it covered up, you know.
See, I don't agree with that.
All right, so that guy never got his tattoos covered up.
Covered, yeah.
I see where he's coming
agree
from
with that.
I told you I was going to come on here and butt heads with you guys. I'm not going to agree with everything.
No, that's dope. I like that.
Yeah.
So I don't agree. Yeah, if they're doing all this just because he has the tattoos on his hands, I don't agree with that. You know, you shouldn't be deported for that. But if
that's what he was deported for.
But if they caught him affiliating with a gang, which I don't know if they did or not.
No, I don't know either.
Was he affiliated with a gang? The FBI, the CIA, they have ways of finding that out. I'm sure they wouldn't just deport him for tattoos on his hands, would they?
That's what it was. He had tattoos.
Damn, son. We need to dig into this.
And now they're making a whole thing because, all right, so they can deport someone who is here illegally, who claimed asylum.
Right.
Got in legally.
Yep.
And you could just, we don't want you here anymore. We're going to deport you. So they're basically, that's why it's such a big issue with this guy.
I think it's like the blanket fix for a problem that they don't really know how to solve with like surgical precision. They're doing like the whole El Salvador thing where it's...
And what the left is seeing now is, so you can deport this guy. Now American citizens are next. That's where they're...
It's kind of ridiculous.
They're looking at the next...
Why would they deport American citizens?
I got an idea why they don't want to let him back, though, also, right?
Right.
Because now, even if Trump thinks he's wrong, even if he knows he's wrong and he wants to say it, he can't.
You don't think he can.
Because once you let somebody else back, now you're going to open up a whole other can of worms for other people to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. So you kind of he's in a bad spot at that point, too.
He doesn't want to be wrong. Trump's...
No, no, I agree with that.
He made billions and billions by not being wrong. So,
I love this. That's true.
Yeah,
you got valid points, bro. 100%.
Yeah, it was just because of the tattoos.
Let's watch a little bit.
But if I am wrong about that Photoshop tattoo, then I'm wrong.
Well, no, that did look Photoshopped.
Well, the numbers.
The numbers.
They were just putting references.
They were putting references.
They're obviously like a prison tat on his hand.
They were giving reasons.
Like at first, I saw that photo and I was like, see, it's Photoshopped. I saw the numbers and letters. But if it is the correlation between the pictures,
that's what they were doing.
Showing them like this means that, then that didn't look that Photoshopped.
Yeah, and there's also this thing.
But you only looked at one picture.
Sure.
Look at multiple
we'll look at multiple.
But
and there's also this thing too. I've watched a lot of prison documentaries, like whatever my knowledge is from that. There's also this thing in prisons where they have gang units and their not their sole responsibility, but one of their biggest responsibilities is to take photos of and interpret tattoos that inmates have, right?
So they can affiliate with them.
So they know, because inmates will do sneaky stuff. They're not just going to put MS-13 on their knuckles or a specific gang. They've gotten really sneaky with it in prison.
Oh, yeah.
They do weird things, and gang units have figured out, we know what that means now, because someone snitched or we found out somehow, right? We know what your tattoo means.
Oh, they're just bragging about it.
Right. So there's people who are smarter than us who can look at that and be like, yeah, that's an MS-13 tattoo. And I'm sure he's talking to those people. Does it mean this guy should be deported for that? Nah, I don't agree with that. But apparently he was. Yeah. Right? And if he was here legally, which I didn't know, that also throws some more into it.
That's the biggest reason why they're making this one man such a big issue.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. I did not know that.
The man that you picked out, he said he wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
Well, wait a
over that.
minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was Photoshopped. So let me
That was Photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because...
See, he just has the wrong facts.
That's okay. But I picked you, Terry. Hey, but you're not being very nice. He had MS-13 tattoos.
See, that's also...
I'll move on to something else.
I want to pause it real quick.
Yeah.
That's also... he did 3 or 4 interviews, I believe, for his State of the Union.
On this?
No. Him and 3 different other... One for the Time, one for Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
One for a few others. He picked all the reporters that he wanted him to interview him.
Right.
So, like, they're clashing here back and forth. Like... they already knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he doesn't like ABC at all.
Yeah, but that's what he wants. Like,
Trump or the reporter?
Not Wall Street, Trump.
Maybe.
Trump.
Well, they both want what they got.
He does, yeah. He likes to call them out if he thinks they're wrong, and they like getting these moments.
He wants to be seen as hard on the journalists. So
I kind of agree with that, though, because journalism in this country has gone straight down the toilet for several years now. Yeah, so they need to be held accountable for some of the lies that they do put out there. Mm-hmm. Maybe this was the wrong hill to die on for Trump, you know? But
under certain laws, I mean, slander is a punishable crime, right?
Yeah, fair, honest, balanced reporting. You're lying, though. In a lot of scenarios, these news outlets are just blatantly lying about things, which is also... that almost should be like a punishable crime in the country. You know, I mean, yeah, you got freedom of speech, sure, but damn, how are you selling this as fair, honest, and balanced?
Freedom of press too. So.
Sure, that's not. I don't know. I don't know where to. This is one of those gray areas where it's like we don't know where to draw the line at right now. Mm-hmm. Play it.
See, that's
do you want me to show you the picture?
Yeah. I saw the picture. We'll
and you think it was Photoshop? Well,
here we go.
Don't Photoshop it. Go look at his hand. He had MS-13.
He did have tattoos that can be interpreted that way. I'm not an expert on them. I want to turn to Ukraine, sir. I want to get to Ukraine.
No. He had MS as clear as you can be, not interpreted.
Okay. See, let's pause this right here and go look at the guy's hand.
Yeah, he doesn't. Obviously, Trump's eyes probably aren't those best either when he saw the picture. Probably.
So this is where Trump
he's getting old to be an older man,
right?
Well, he's just wrong, and he doesn't want to be wrong.
Yeah, that's the photo,
that's obviously
they put MS-13.
Yeah, they typed MS-13.
Right,
so that's way too clean compared to the rest of it. Yeah.
See, but you can read.
It's not like he went to a tattoo shop after he got out of prison and put that above it.
See, here's what I don't understand. Right? Because he has words written under these. He has marijuana, smiley, or whatever, and then he actually has cross and then skull. Mm-hmm. But I still don't get how the cross is the 1 and skull would be 3. I don't understand how you get 3 from skull. That I don't get. Right? I don't understand that. How can you deport a man?
Over tattoos?
Over tattoos.
Well, you got a Nazi. If you got a swastika on you, can you get deported?
You're not.
Should you get deported?
You're not a terrorist organization.
But
if you're on the terror list,
you're a Nazi.
Yeah, I know. But why won't they?
How would that work though? If you're from the country, where are you going to get deported to?
back to America.
That's what the left keeps on going on about. Like if you're like we can just deport anybody. I wouldn't go that far. I was going to say that first too, but I stopped myself saying Germany. So
send them to Germany.
Well. Right? No, well, the KKK isn't a German thing, though. Hitler was not a Klan member.
But the swastika is representative of, like, the Nazis.
The Nazis,
group.
I suppose,
and before that, it was Buddhism.
Right, and it still is.
Tilted.
Still is.
Yeah, it still is. Yeah, you can go to museums and they'll still have swastikas.
Well, it's flipped, right? The other way.
It's just tilted, I think, or something like that. Yeah. But they still have those symbols all over their temples and everything like that.
It's weird, isn't it?
Well, yeah, man, you just gotta be a good guy and you'll be.
No, deport you.
No.
If you got a tattoo, we deport you.
No tattoos.
It's Trump's America.
Besides, law enforcement takes tattoos also just to like, hey, this guy has this tattoo to identify. Because if you change your features, like you change your have color contacts, shave your beard, dye your hair, don't get a tan, you look real pale.
I'll still know it's you, Jordan.
Well, you take
do what you want.
Tattoos.
You think Trump's got a tattoo?
No. He hasn't never had a drink in his life. He's never smoked.
Yeah. He's a good white boy.
Got a good white boy.
He's a good white boy.
Tramp stamp.
He might have a tramp stamp. That would be hilarious,
that would
dude.
be awesome.
Trump had a tramp stamp.
He has he has a tattoo of himself.
Right on the back.
I wonder if they were going to say something.
He has a tattoo of Donald Trump.
And his alleged gang affiliation.
Says Trump right on his back. Definitely would do that.
He wasn't a member of a gang, and then they looked and on his.
Trump referring to this picture posted on his social media showing the man's knuckles. The picture shows MS-13. But was that added after the fact?
It really kind of breaks down into two separate questions.
PolitiFact's chief correspondent, Lou
definitely
Jacobson,
was added.
breaks down for us what the picture actually shows.
I think
it's not a tattoo.
those
it's
look
in a different tone.
Yeah, they do.
As the tattoos are in the same picture. So it seemed pretty obvious to us and to a lot of other people that it was added, I guess because they wanted to sort of make the connection clear.
See, that's
not
the
because the gentleman, Abrego Garcia, actually has MS-13 on his hands.
Jacobson says recent pictures taken of the man in El Salvador do not show the MS-13 on the hand. So let's go back to that ABC News interview.
Wait a minute. Terry,
no, we don't need to go back to
He did not.
Tattoos on his hand show any links to the notorious gang. PolitiFact checked with gang experts.
Why is he
According to
always
the
hiding
experts
his
I
hands?
spoke to, are not particularly linked to MS-13 in their vast experience in dealing with the gang.
Turns out, experts say gang members are not shy about showing off their gang-affiliated tattoos, usually displaying them in prominent spots. So on this one, the president gets a pants on fire rating, PolitiFact's worst rating.
Okay.
Now that picture they showed on here, it almost looked like maybe it was tattooed, but there's
just
another
a blurry photo. Though.
One of the other pictures, it looked like it was super highlighted.
Yeah, I think
So I don't know.
they wrote that on.
Like
there.
they said, that's another thing is they don't want it just your hands tattooed.
Yeah, you
Like,
got to put that on your chest.
You got to put that on your chest. You got to put it on your neck. You got to be loud about it. You got to let the world know that you're with us. Like if you show up with your just little hand tattoos, you can get out of here. Bro.
Yeah, you better chop someone's head off.
We don't want that shit around. Like you can kick rocks. Yeah.
So I mean,
they want you to be loud about it. They want you to.
I might be switching my view
representing them, or They want you to see. They want you to be seen representing them.
Yeah.
As clear and loud as possible.
Ultimate dedication.
The little hand tattoos, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. He's just a dude from El Salvador, bro.
He might be.
And they sent him back. To me, that's what it is.
It probably is, yeah. And then again,
snap! No. I changed your mind.
And then again, yeah, you did a little bit.
Over here.
I'm willing to admit if I'm not correct about something. It might be. This could be the wrong move, right?
It is the wrong move.
I think what they're doing, like I said earlier, I think they're just throwing a big net right now because they feel like our country has been invaded, and they're like, if you got some tattoos now, they're going that far. It's like, oh, we see you with gang-affiliated tattoos, you're out too.
I've looked up the numbers too, like when Trump was in office, how many illegal immigrants, or immigrants, I should say, in general, committed crimes when he was in office. And they were literally double digits, single numbers. And as the years went on, towards the end, it was like 3 or 4, something like that.
Really?
And then the last year, I want to say it was 0, but I know it wasn't 0.
Is that because they were getting scared because Trump was about to get elected, you think?
No, this was when he was in office.
Really?
Like he was tough on immigration, but Obama was tough on immigration.
Yeah,
too.
he was.
Obama.
They called him the chief deporter or deporter in chief.
Yeah, Obama was tough in Iraq too.
See, I wonder if this is not like the airplane thing, You remember when airplane accidents were being reported all of a sudden, all the time in the news?
Yeah, and I don't understand why, because it's been the safest it's been. Like February when the Black Hawk got hit by the passenger plane. Like, yeah, that was really shitty, really bad situation.
Yeah.
But February was like the least, out of all Februarys beforehand, it was the most fatalities also.
Right.
Airplanes.
But the most reported. They were reporting on it.
Yeah, they were reporting on it like crazy. I don't understand why either.
So that's...
Because I even looked at the statistics and everything like that, and
wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all. But what I was going to beforehand was when Biden got into office, and you would look in the records of all the immigrants, keep on saying illegal immigrants, but maybe some were. But you see all the immigrants coming in and committing crimes, thousands. 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, numbers keep ticking up. Yeah, crimes.
So do you think that's accurate?
Yeah.
Why would that be? Because it was such a free, it was such a free thing.
Yeah, he was, come on in. Because I think that they wanted to get all these immigrants in, switch up the laws a little bit, give Democrats a better chance of winning the next election, give the illegal immigrants or immigrants in general the right to vote, even though they're not
100%.
They're not doing anything. They're not. They're literally just.
They were trying to make
here. They're literally here, and now they can vote.
Right. That's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and that's when Governor of Texas, who is it?
Greg Abbott.
Greg Abbott. Yep, he started sending all of the immigrants out to New York.
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Everywhere else. Minnesota.
Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, that was
hilarious, dude.
And then they all started seeing the repercussion of having illegal immigrants in their cities and all the tax dollars that was going towards them, and they were like, you know what, maybe not a good idea.
Maybe we screwed up.
We did screw up, yeah. But then also it was also the Republicans that they had written a border security deal 2 years ago or something like that, and it was the Republicans who sank that bill. And they all would have agreed on it. They would have all gotten aboard on it until they wanted to sink the bill and let Trump back in. And then he could be tough on immigration.
Oh, you think they were setting Trump up to do it?
Oh, absolutely. They were. Hey, absolutely.
That's possible.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah,
so they didn't fight. The one thing I heard, some of them they were fighting is because they were still trying to sneak some of the money in to go to Ukraine. Like into the bills. Yeah.
They didn't have to sneak it. Well, they were trying to. One time I remember, like they were trying to give like 400 some billion to them. They were just like, "Oh, we don't want to give them money. We don't want that, but we want this instead. So how about you sign this off, and then we'll sign off that money because we all want Russia defeated and communism. Communism's bad.
War is good, though. Right?
War is good. Communism's bad. It's just like,
right.
Man, all that money we sunk into that war. I'm not left, and I'm not right. I'm like, I love guns, and I think women should have their own right to their own body. Like,
oh man, that's a discussion too. Yeah,
I'm not left. I'm not
also,
right.
I think our money should be spent in this country. A lot of it. I mean, you're going to take it from me. You should at least put it towards something.
Oh yeah,
that benefits the people
but then again,
of the country.
We are also everywhere worldwide. We have military bases and everywhere on all the continents.
I don't know if I agree with that either, but
I'm not sure about Antarctica, but we are the
UFOs. We gotta watch them in Antarctica.
You believe in UFOs?
Oh yeah.
Like I've seen some stuff. I don't know if it was UFOs.
Oh, we gotta do a UFO show with you, son.
I just don't know.
Yeah, you believe.
I just don't know. I'm still like, why would they just now all of a sudden be coming out with all this UFO stuff? Like, what do you want us not to know?
That's a good question.
It's like, why are you just now saying UFOs are real in the Congress?
Maybe it's just because now we all have.
And then they got all these military people like, yeah, go say something about
that.
it.
You know, that sketches me out.
Go say something about it. Go say this. Go say that about it.
Well, here's the thing.
Let us plant the seed.
They don't even do that. They like feed people information without the person knowing it to trick them into going out and saying stuff. That's what they'll do. They won't even tell him, we need you to go and report this. They want that person to actually believe what he's saying.
Here, maybe we made him and like, we're going to say, oh, aliens attacked Russia.
Yeah.
But we're going to come in and help them.
Yeah. We got to go help them.
We're going to go save them.
Or, holy cow, aliens have nukes. They bombed Russia. And it was actually us. But hey,
now we need more money for Space Force.
You just never know. Yeah, Space Force. Oh, Space Force.
Yeah, how are you supposed to find out the truth of any of this? That's why I was asking earlier.
You have to go to Antarctica and find out for yourself.
I'll do some reporting.
See, I believed in UFOs until the Senate was like, or the Congress was like, yeah, they're real. They're called UAPs. Nope, they're not real anymore.
Damn.
Not at all.
Damn, you can't cross that one.
They're not
you
real.
can't cross that one for me, son. Hell no. I admit it's sketchy that they brought it out and they're like, yeah, UFOs and all this. The way I rationalized it in my head was the only reason they're admitting it is because so many people now are digging into this that they have to admit something to try to get us off their back.
There's two sides of it. It's not real, or they know it's real and they know that people cannot handle whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right, so if UFOs are real, like, okay, they came down.
Because there's a lot of people that would...
What would change? Everything.
See, people say that too. Why would everything change?
Because
Jordan,
people are wrong.
No.
People don't like to be caught.
We already, oh my God.
What just happened, man?
Hey, spin that circle. Oh. No, you see that silver wheel?
Yeah.
Spin it back on there. Yep, so you have room to now, you can screw the black part back on.
Oh, snap.
Welcome to the BTG Show, son.
After dark, right?
Yeah, this is After Dark, baby. So, yeah, what the hell was my train of thought you made me lose just now, Skis?
Oh, UFOs.
Yeah, the UFO thing.
So everything would change.
Everything. I don't think everything
religion would change.
Here's
Politics would change.
Right.
Spending bills would change.
Yeah, here's what I would say about that. I don't think religion would change because people are already a bunch of heathens who are just pretending to be Christians. We're not. You think the Catholic Church people are actually Christians?
It's either that or they say they're not going to believe they're aliens ever.
Yeah, you're just doing it
talking about like
to try to clear your conscience.
Talking about all the priests and everything?
All the priests touching people.
Yeah, exactly. How many priests have been caught touching little boys?
Yeah, there's real Christianity, I think, is dead in America now for the most part. So it's like when people say, oh, it's going to uproot Christianity, you guys aren't believers anyway. You're faking it from the get-go. So what do you mean it's going to uproot your Christian faith? Like, you're a Catholic,
it'll create new religions.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I think, though. I think aliens are just demons and angels, man. Do you read the Bible, or you used to back when you were a Christian? It's like, I think aliens...
I'm still there. I'm
that's where you tie in like the Book of Dead, right? And all that.
Book of Enoch.
Yeah, the Book of Enoch.
I still got to read that, bro. Some good stuff in there. Damn, this turned into a UFO show somehow quick. We'll have to do our own.
Get back on
MS-13, dog.
All right, go back to that video.
Which one?
I don't know.
The Trump one?
That's why it's After Dark, man. We just talk about whatever.
Whatever, yep.
Well,
we can let this. All right, go to UFOs.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I wanted to do with the video still about this was to look up like real pictures of his hands. Right? That was what I wanted to look up. If people had actual photos other than what Trump is showing here in that picture, I'm not seeing it.
Well, I'm not saying that photo that he's holding up is wrong. I'm just saying that, we only looked at one. Maybe we need to look at more, but
I don't know, bro.
I don't think the White House or his advisors would give him the wrong photo.
Let's ask if he was legal. He was born in July 1995 in the neighborhood of Los Nogales in El Salvador, where he helped his family run a business.
Crossed the border illegally near McAllen, Texas in 2012.
Oh,
when he was 16 years old, according to the documents posted by Attorney General Pam Bondi. Mm-hmm.
So he went to Maryland to live with his brother, who is a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
2016, he met his wife, who is a U.S. citizen. They had a young son, has 2 children from a previous marriage. He was a sheet metal, whatever. So they're still not. They're still not
insulator, man.
Hold on, right here.
They're still not saying if he was
arrested in March 2019. No, he crossed over illegally.
He did cross over.
But he married somebody who's
US
legal.
Citizen.
So can't she
and he had a child with her.
If he married her, can he also become a citizen at that point, though?
His child, I think, automatically becomes a citizen.
Well, yeah.
When they had the baby, but
he can get papers.
But right up there, also, he said he got arrested for loitering. According to the arrest documents,
how dare you stand here?
He has no criminal record at the time, where documents also state.
Sir, you've been standing here too long.
Yeah,
You're under arrest. He had marijuana on him when he was arrested. He was with a man who was a known MS-13 gang
They said
member.
they did not file charges, though. The drugs were seized, but authorities did not file charges.
Right. Past, proven, reliable. The officers said they consulted with a confidential source who advised that he was an active gang member who had the moniker Chele. I don't know what the hell that means. So I don't know, man. It's very unclear to me if he's legal.
I was wrong right there in the beginning, though. He did cross over here illegally.
Yeah, he crossed illegally when he was 16.
But he might have been legal after getting married. That's a possibility.
I don't know how that works.
You can get your papers after you marry. He's a U.S. citizen.
But did he? Apparently he didn't because they deported him.
Well, I don't know.
And he was hanging out with MS-13 gang members, which doesn't necessarily make you guilty of being one. But that was a
confidential source.
Sure, someone could have just said that who hates him. I don't know.
Somebody that lived down the street. He scared me. Or some old lady didn't like him.
Wow. I don't know, man.
He looks illegal.
Well, I was wrong again.
I mean, it's Maryland.
Because I said he came over here under the Asylum Act, and he didn't. Yeah. But he has been living here for 13 years.
He has. So I don't know. It's I guess he's not a citizen.
No, he came here illegally.
Well, I feel like he's been married long enough, though. He should have gotten that straightened out. You think he would?
You would think so.
I thought after like 5 years of marriage. I don't know, though. I could be wrong. Have already been, so.
Well,
show you how smart I am.
That's why we look at the internet. I've been wrong, too. It's just. Apparently, not everybody is reading into this stuff. See, I still don't feel like if he's been charged. I still feel like, oh, here we go. What was his immigration status? 2019, he was handed over to immigration and placed in deportation proceedings. She and her husband testified against the allegations that he was a gang member, sought his release. She described the process as emotional and unfair. The judge denied him bond after his arrest outside Home Depot. Boy, they still just don't want to tell me if he's legal.
Man, he had to live the cliche though, being outside Home Depot, man.
Right?
Come on. That's the worst.
I don't get it. They don't just want to put it in plain black and white. Yes, he was illegal. I know they set it up there, but who knows? He then filed for asylum and withholding of removal, temporary form of legal protection, so that he would not be deported. Before his 2019 hearing, authorities told the court that their evidence of Garcia's gang membership was limited to the gang field interview sheet from the Home Depot arrest, and they had nothing further to add. So it doesn't sound like he was like deep into the gang, if he was at all a part of it. So this kind of seems petty.
I bet you he was just hanging out with the wrong people.
I think so, and this kind of seems just like a petty deportation. It's like he's not accused of murder.
There we go. The court granted withholding of the removal as long as he checked in with authorities annually. Sometimes he attested to doing in court filings. This gave him legal status in the United States temporarily to allow him to receive a work permit. ICE did not appeal, and Garcia was released. He returned to his family, where he resumed work and began a 5-year apprentice program under a licensed journeyman. His wife wrote in the affidavit.
Damn, so ICE let him go.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of seems like he was fine, because ICE is like strict on people. That sounds to me like
that was also
cool.
during Trump's first presidency, also in 2019.
Isn't that wild? So I feel like it's kind of just this whole thing is a little bit of a gray area.
Yeah, he got sent back for loitering.
He got sent back.
Trump was probably like, you got away once. I'm not going to let you get away
man,
again.
Maybe he got loitering for being in the U.S. Man, you just been here too long.
Yeah, you've been loitering in America for too long. You're done, buddy. Yeah, I don't know, man. This sounds strange to me. It sounds like a petty, like I said, it just sounds like a petty case.
Right.
I don't know if I would agree with this anymore necessarily. He's not charged of anything like crazy. He wasn't in a gang, like shooting
But they
up
can't
buildings.
take back their word now either. You can't take
True.
it back.
Well, I mean, what is deportation?
Because you're going to open a can of worms for other people to come
deportation means deportation. If you're illegal in this country...
You got to stick to it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I don't care. Okay, so yeah, in that sense, what I don't agree with then is deportation to that prison in El Salvador. They should have just deported him.
Like, he should be able to free reign.
Why is he in
Salvador?
prison? Yeah. He didn't do anything.
I think they were like, we got a supermax prison in El Salvador. He's El Salvadoran. He got away from us one time already.
Yeah.
We're going to get his ass.
We got the knuckle tattoos.
So,
lock him
But
up.
El Salvador is in charge of that prison, right? So why would they throw him in there?
Because where else would they put him?
Maybe El Salvador knows more than we do about these gang members, bro.
Let him snitch. I don't know.
He should be a snitch. I feel like he's in a perfect position. You better start singing
come back
like
to the
a
U.S.?
canary.
We want some. Maybe that's why they sent him there, to collect info.
Maybe.
Oh, now the conspiracy gets deep. He's in there. He's working recon, man. Supermax. Yeah. And then he's going to come back. They're like, okay, we're going to let you come back now after he collected some info. Now we know what's going on. Yeah. Now we can get the rest of these guys in the U.S.
Why do we need to know what's going on, though? He's in a prison where all of the MS-13 gang members are already locked up. We don't need any more
but they
info.
might have
we
info on the outside of who's in the U.S.
Oh, I suppose.
So now maybe he'll collect some info. He's like, yeah, man, dog. Come on, dog.
Well, then you should have locked him up in an American prison.
MS-13.
You should have locked him up in an American prison if that was the case. Now we got to deal with
he was
El
an
Salvador.
illegal immigrant here on a work permit.
So. And he had weed on him. And he was loitering at Home Depot.
At Home Depot. Out of all places, they got to put the Home Depot. It's just like... how more cliche can you get right now?
You definitely run. You see the cops come, man, you run. You don't want to get caught there. Right. You got me in a field. You didn't get me at Home Depot.
You ain't catching me outside Home Depot, homie. Oh, that's a crazy story, man. We started out talking about Trump.
You know, I honestly still feel bad for the guy.
I do too now. Now that I read all this, I don't
feel like he's going to make it in that Supermax prison.
He doesn't seem like he's tough. He doesn't seem like he's a real G who should be in that prison. I don't know, dog.
Just hanging out with the wrong people, I think.
I think so.
And then they were affiliated with MS-13, probably.
Right.
But yet again, we don't know who those other people were that he was hanging out with. So.
And what's your knuckle tattoo really mean, buddy? Come on now. It's sketchy.
Is it though?
To be honest, it's sketchy.
He likes weed. He's happy.
Come on, Skis. He likes Jesus. He loves Jesus. And the skull means I'm tough.
Yeah.
Yep. If he was tough, he'd be wearing leather too.
That's
tough
right.
Guys wear leather.
That's right. He'd be in a motorcycle gang if he was actually tough. And he'd be like making sure. You ever seen those motorcycle dudes that ride the Harleys? They don't want any other motorcycle to pass them on the interstate. That's that whole thing going around. It's like, oh, you're a gay boy. Because like motorcycle dudes, they'll ride, and if some like crotch rocket or something comes riding up, they'll swerve, cut him off. Like, don't pass us.
I had a crotch rocket actually do that to me yesterday, though.
Crotch rocket did it.
Yeah, he pulled up to me, and he's all like, hey, and he pulled up past me. I was like, oh,
yeah,
cool.
That's because we don't care about your stupid role. You don't run. You're not the cops. You Harley riders.
I'm not riding a Harley.
Cops. Yeah, but you're one of those guys now.
But I'm riding a real bike.
Sure.
What is it?
No, I don't know.
Harley?
What is it? A Honda?
No, Yamaha.
Honda Shadow.
Yamaha Striker, 1390.
All right, Yamaha Striker, bro.
Just don't gotta brag about it. It's just a 1390.
Yeah, I like the bike.
Hell yeah, dude,
it's a nice bike.
Hey man, it's like taking a racer or a muscle car.
Yeah, that's
muscle. Muscle all day.
I'll take that crotch rocket, dog. Forget about that muscle. I mean, I like muscle.
I feel like you reach an age where you just can't ride one anymore.
I've heard, back issues, but just
not even that. Just
town,
like I get your point of throwing a helmet on, but you got to take that helmet off. Eventually.
No,
and now you're a 60-year-old man riding a crotch rocket.
Yeah, but
it just doesn't seem right.
Well, you can dump that thing,
and it's not comfortable.
What happens if you scratch all the skin off your face?
Look comfortable one bit.
It's not about being comfortable. It's about looking cool, Jordan.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I want some.
I wouldn't know about that. My bad.
I just want some comfort.
I don't give a damn about if it's comfortable. I want to look cool. You understand what I'm saying, son? So
actually, it's about the dirt bike, right? Because then you go anywhere.
Yeah. Then when the cops chase you because you're an MS-13 gang member, you can go off road, down the tracks, whatever.
That cop ain't running.
Don't have a license plate on it either. What are we talking about?
I forgot what we were talking about. I was scratching my neck for a second. I was like, what the
What is going on?
Giving Errol crap about his motorcycle at this point. Talking about Harley riders. Motorcycles really annoy me, though. That's my point. They just all annoy me. When I see a motorcycle on the road, I just get pissed. Especially when they come up. Wham! I'm like, why are you revving it for no goddamn reason?
Because it's a red light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to show you.
You got to hear
I can go.
You got to hear this
red
thing.
light.
Well, maybe he has an issue. No, I don't know. I was going to say,
Maybe
his
erectile
his
dysfunction
idles too
issue.
low. Might die out, so you got to keep
Keep it up, right?
Maybe you should fix your trashy bike then, bro. All right, we're going to end this show here, man. This is crazy. Let me know what you think about this MS-13 gang member. If his deportation was right or a wrongful deportation. From all the facts we've given you tonight, let me know what you think. Subscribe to the BTG Show. Email us at thebtgteam@gmail.com. If you see stories like this, email it to us or message us on Instagram or YouTube, whatever. We'll respond. We'll catch you guys in the next show.
Deuces.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
What's cooler than that?
Well, keep it simple, stupid.